The last report we have is he suffered a gunshot wound to the left side of his chest, and he is in critical condition at Halifax Medical Center.
Saturday night, authorities responded to a shooting in Bunnell. A 20-year-old man sustained a life-threatening gunshot wound. Bunnell Police Chief David Brannon.
Dispatch received a call from a resident at 500 South Drain Street who had reported that they had a male in their front yard who suffered a gunshot wound. Patrol officers from Bunnell Police and Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived at that scene, started rendering life-saving treatment to him while also securing the area so medical professionals could come in and also to secure the crime scene. As best we can tell, there was a fight that broke out between a group of folks in the 500 block of South Anderson Street, and suddenly shots rang out among that group of folks, and the persons dispersed either on foot, looks like a couple in cars. So we've been following up on leads from that.
As first responders, police officers sometimes have to be the first medical professionals on the scene.
A serious gunshot wound like this, seconds matter, and for the officers and deputies that rendered that life-saving treatment probably made the difference for this guy, because it takes a few minutes in a kind of volatile situation like that to get it secure so the ambulance and fire trucks can safely come in and provide their advanced level of care. So stopping the bleeding and getting the patient stable is critically important.
The victim was airlifted by Fireflight to the trauma unit at Halifax Medical Center in Daytona Beach. No suspects are currently in custody. The Bunnell Police Department is leading this ongoing investigation with support from the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, March 18th.
The state's investment in our city or county will dramatically impact the entire region with opportunities for advanced economic development.
The Florida legislative session has come to a close, and Palm Coast Mayor David Alfin is applauding lawmakers' efforts.
Flagler County receiving $150 million in appropriations during the session. Money Mayor Alfin says will benefit Palm Coast and the county as a whole.
I think they understand that every dollar that they invest in our area will multiply itself as we bring in new businesses, new opportunities, new commercial entities, and of course, new housing. We constantly look to the three-legged stool. We have to have businesses that will provide high-paying jobs. We then can have residents that can apply for and work in those companies as long as they also have a place where they can afford to live. So these monies create the infrastructure which will build all three legs of those stools.
For his part, House Speaker Paul Renner says the money will also help Flagler County protect what makes it so unique.
There's a lot of money there for, roads, existing roads, for, I mentioned land conservation, for making sure we don't pave over Flagler County. One of the things I know I like, it's not a concrete jungle. There's a lot of green space. You can catch fish and eat the fish you catch, that kind of thing. And so we want to keep it that way. So there's money set aside to make sure that we keep our community with a high quality of life that I think we all enjoy.
Tomorrow, we'll take a closer look at an appropriation aimed at meeting Flagler County's transportation needs for years to come. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. There are two meetings scheduled today for the Flagler County Board of County Commissioners. Julie Murphy is the Public Information Officer.
The first is a workshop that starts at 3 p.m., and they will discuss the Hurricane Recovery Grant Program funds. And the second topic that they will discuss are ARPA funds. No action is expected in that workshop.
The second meeting is the Flagler County Board of County Commissioners regular meeting, and it starts at 5.
There are two presentations that will happen towards the beginning of the meeting. The first is for our transparency dashboards. We've added some new modules. Transparency dashboards are a great place for residents to get information on all sorts of things about the budget, how their tax dollars are spent. And if they want to just browse around on their own, they can do it by going to flaglercounty.gov/data. It's a wonderful resource. You can find out on your tax bill exactly how much you spend for things like law enforcement, fire rescue. You just have to put your address into a little search engine. And the second presentation will be of our annual report. Flagler County Administrator Heidi Pizzito will present the annual report to the Board of County Commissioners. So that will be something of great interest.
The workshop is at 3, the regular meeting is at 5, and both meetings will take place in the board chambers located within the Government Services Building. The public is invited, but if you can't be there, watch the stream on the Flagler County Government YouTube channel. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
Friday night was a busy one at FPC, with the Bulldogs hosting 4 games. First up, softball against Mainland. Skylar Ludovici and Sadie Shell had 2 hits each in the 11-1 Bulldog win. Lexi Laura had 3 hits and combined with Ludovici on a no-hitter. Laura had 2 simple goals this year.
Get more Ks and get my ERA down.
While pitching a no-hitter wasn't a stated goal, being patient at the plate and getting more hits was.
I know that I can hit the ball. I think sometimes I go in overconfident, which is why I pop up and tend to get over myself, but I end up finding myself later in the game.
Next up on the docket, girls lacrosse. The Mandarin Mustangs outlasted the Bulldogs 8-3. Bulldog coach Katie Kastner says her young team is still learning how to slow the game down.
We need to calm our nerves down, calm our excitement down, go out there level-headed, go out there like we've been out there before, and play the fundamentals of the game and put the ball in the net.
Next up, boys lacrosse squared off against Mandarin 2. Trenton Ellis and Jordan Gales each had a hat trick for the Bulldogs, who won convincingly 14-1. Is Gales, who's a wide receiver on the football team, just good at everything?
I wouldn't say I'm good at everything because everything has its flaws, but I just work on to get better.
FPC has won 5 straight. First-year Bulldog coach Matt Massey on what he's learned about his team.
We didn't have a lot of depth, but we have a lot of fight in us. We have like the dog in us, so whenever we're tested, we're going to show up and we're going to give it like our best.
Gales on what Massey has brought to the team.
It's been great. He's a good coach and he believes in us and makes us better.
Finally, it was FPC baseball against the tough Columbia team. Despite 2 hits from Carson Fliss and Brennan Striplin and 4 innings of 1-run relief from Aiden Normandin, the Tigers held off FPC for a 6-4 win. Coach Kyle Marsh says games like this in March prepare the team for the postseason.
Teams that have been there and done that and made deep runs last year just to prepare ourselves for down the road and what it's like to make a deep run.
Bulldog baseball will be busy this week, playing 4 games in the tournament in Sanford, beginning today with Seminole at noon. Matanzas baseball fell 7-1 to Seabreeze at Jackie Robinson Ballpark in Daytona Friday night. They host Vanguard tonight at St. John's River State College in Palatka. FPC weightlifter Nick Groth broke 3 school records for the 183-pound weight class at Swanee Friday, including a 255-pound snatch and a 320-pound clean and jerk. FPC track athletes Jack Gilberry and Summer Barnes won scholarships at the Bob Hayes Invitational in Jacksonville this weekend. Colby Cronk won the shot put. It's a quiet week for spring break in Flagler County. FPC softball hosts Seabreeze tomorrow and is at Beachside Thursday. Matanzas Beach Volleyball travels to Spruce Creek Wednesday. WNZF is your home for local sports, with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.